A lot of people have various misconceptions about what failure really is. And I believe that the reason why a lot of people fail is because they have this constant dread or fear of failure. They're afraid to fail. They think about failure even when they're able to do what they have to do, even if when they have what it takes to do what they have to do. They're afraid. They simply feel that somehow or in some way they're going to fail. For example, you have a speech in front of a big crowd, you've taken time to master the speech, hours of, standing in front of the mirror and just talking to yourself. You have this, you got this. But somehow you just, step in front of the crowd. The moment you step in front of the crowd, you just, this soft mind, somewhere around your dark mind, somewhere around the dark part of your head, this voice just creeps in and tells you that, "Oh, what if you fail? Like, what if you fail?" And you just see this and you try to think about it. You say, "Oh, yeah, what if I fail? Like, I might fail. Of course, I might fail." You know? The moment you accept that as the reality, you become less confident. Your confidence drops down. Your confidence drops instantly because you have programmed yourself to fail actively. The moment you accept the voice, you approve the voice, that small, that tiny voice at the corner of your mind, you're destined for failure because you accepted failure as the reality. You never saw the hours of constant of reading. You never saw the hours of practicing the speech. But then you accepted the voice. You saw the voice instead. So I believe that this is the reason why, one of the reasons or one of the misconceptions of failure. Because a lot of people believe that you need to be afraid. You need to avoid failure. No. I'm going to roughly estimate here. I believe that 90% of all life experiences come from failure. So if you're actually avoiding failure, you're missing out on the positive things that life has to offer. You're missing out on the advantages, the positive side of acknowledging failure. And a lot of people that do that run away from failure or from failing simply because they have this, fear or constant dread of failure, are not going to make it so far. They're always going to remain in the same spot. Another reason why a lot of people, another misconception rather, about failure is that whenever you try something and it's not working out, you should give up. Maybe it's not for you. Okay, I started YouTube and I haven't had, haven't had, subscribers yet. I think I have one subscriber now, and I'm happy for that. But this fear creeps in. Like, what if I fail? Like, what if this whole YouTube thing is gonna be a flop? It's gonna come to your mind, and after maybe, 3, 4 videos, you quit. Now, that is not how it's supposed to be. And a lot of reasons why people keep growing misconceptions or having misconceptions about failure instead of seeing it as a vital platform for learning is because they lack self-discipline. And I'm gonna introduce a book to you. It's kind of an annual, reading material, 365 days with self-discipline, written by Martin Meadows. I'm gonna put a link in the description where you can, get the book if you're interested. I just found it a couple of weeks back, and it's really good. You can read it. So back to the topic. A lot of people have misconceptions about failure, the term failure, and this has allowed them to miss out on a lot of things in life. Whenever you look at the success stories of, people, notable people in the world today, and other inventors, people that have actually, made a name for themselves in the world. Look at his story. One of the stories that cracked me up is the story of Thomas Edison, the inventor of the light bulb. And one of his quotes, he said, "I have not failed. I have only found 10,000 ways that cannot work." He saw it as a medium of learning. He never saw those 10,000 ways as things that, should be considered failure. A lot of us haven't even reached 10,000 failed attempts yet. I'm not sure. Even me. So we're just average people going about our businesses. That doesn't mean we should shy away from failure, no matter how constant they seem. In whatever way, I'm not just focusing on the workplace, even in the area of self development, you're confronted with failure. It is a part of life. And these are things that we love. We must fight for the things we love. If you truly love your job, if you truly want to be successful, if you truly want to be, whatever you want to be the best, you have to fight for it. It's not something you do once and you get once. If it's like that, then it's valueless, it's trash. This is why there's a lot of anything that is of substance at all has to be gotten with a little bit, you have to put in a little bit of difficulty. There's always a challenge to getting that thing. If, Lamborghinis or any, Rolex or all that weren't value, they can be easily affordable. And we wouldn't have this, we wouldn't obsess over them. That's just the truth. So the reason why we obsess over success is because it comes with challenges. And a lot of people want to avoid this challenge. Life shouldn't be about avoiding failure or finding ways to overcome them. Of course, it is very important to overcome failure. But when you don't learn a lesson from failing, you don't know what you're trying to overcome. So, lessons, you must learn lessons from failure, no matter how constant. You must see failure as something that has to happen in life. It shouldn't be at the forefront of your mind. Whenever you want to deliver, you should always have it in mind that you're just doing you. You're speaking your truth. You're doing you. You do you. And if you fail, oh yeah, it's life. Just another part of life. There's no big deal about it. But you must always learn lessons from every failure you encounter rather than pedestalizing them or believing that they're the reason why you cannot go far. Believing that it is something telling you that you should give up, that it is, the journey or whatever you're doing is useless. No. In the area of self-development, I believe in what we call the progressive overload, especially when you're working on self-discipline. You have to do what we call the progressive overload. So whenever you feel like, especially the reason why we fail is because we try to take in everything all at once. This is when we fail, okay, because you cannot handle everything all at once. So if whatever journey you're on, in self-development is such a multi-faced journey. You have looks maxing, you have no fab, you have bodybuilding, you have, work, whatever. You have all that. So I suggest you take one of these things. If you really want to approach failure from a positive light, you need to upgrade your self-discipline, of course. You need to do that. But you also need to work on an aspect of self-development. Whether you want to be a YouTuber or you're just a regular person, I believe that, just do the progressive overload. Sometimes when I feel like I can't actually work out in the morning, I just do about 30 reps of push-ups and I'm good. At least you did something. It's not about accepting failure as your reality. Oh, I can't do anything. I'm so, I'm so tired. And then you end up losing the day. No. Try to do something. Make vital use of your time. prove to yourself that you will not succumb to the fear of failing. And this can only happen when you progressively overload. A lot of people go through very relapses on NoFap. In fact, sometimes almost, throughout the year, they're constantly relapsing. And they believe that, oh, let me just, let me leave this, let me get off this thing. Like, it's not for me. And just, let me do something else. Let me go back to watching porn. A lot of people accept failure as the reality because they choose to take in everything all at once. They do not see failure as part of the process, self development. The moment you start realizing failure as a positive, a good thing, failure is a good thing. The moment you realize that it is a very good thing and it is very important, it creates vital memories. It adds the source to your story. The moment you realize this is the moment you change. You're no longer intimidated by failure. It no longer holds you back. You are now in control of your life. You're in control of your mind. This is when you make that effort to change. You might not take my word for it. I'm just a regular person, right? But I believe you should put it to test. You should put it to the test. Try the progressive overload system. Take only one aspect of self-development you're comfortable with and work on it. Be it working out, be it, just take one of your favorite things in those things. Just take one of them and see how far it takes you. And then, you know, with time, you're gonna, you start taking on the other ones. When you take on everything, then you lose the whole picture. You're all over the place. And you don't know how you can't, it becomes a whole lot harder. So I believe you should do that. With all that being said, focus on yourself, change the way you look at failures and handle them, see them as the best things, embrace them, acknowledge them. From now on, I want you to start having a positive outlook towards failure. Failures are not negative, it is a part of life, it cannot be erased. No matter how far you've reached in your journey, you will always encounter failure in one form or the other. It is not the end of the world. It is for you to put in your best. It is for you to be in your mind. Sit down and experience, just see it as an experience. See it as something to learn from. Perhaps you aren't doing something right. Perhaps there's something you need to change. Look at it from that point, and things will work out for you. I think this is where I'm going to end the video. I got some good news and some bad news. The good news is I'm going to catch you in the next video. The bad news, it's not actually a bad news, but the bad news is I might not be posting, as regular as I used to, because I got school and all that. And, but I'll try to make it on a monthly basis. I'm going to try to post, one or two videos every month. And that's a promise I intend to keep. So, with all that being said, catch you on the next video, and do you. Forever solid, all the way. Peace.